we want to deplore the scenes of violence and militarism that were exhibited yesterday in the House. The House has been turned into a kraal, a market, and war theater. And by those actions, it is clear that democracy, good governance, good practice is on the death bed. You cannot have a house where people just walk in with guns, where members of parliament stand on tables, where members of parliament are hold and mold like the scenes we saw yesterday. That is so deplorable. In the first place, we have the position that the Speaker of Parliament should have recused herself from chairing that session. As you all know, that it is the same lady who made the tribal outbursts in the last session of Parliament, last sitting of Parliament. That alone biased the debate, biased the public, biased the nation. And it was clear that following that, she should have recused herself from chairing. The deputy, who had not made similar statements and who is not as controversial, should have chaired the third reading of that bill. We are saying that it is critical now that the integrity and image of the House be restored. It's very critical. Because as we stand now, the public perception and public understanding of that House is really upside down. We don't know whether it's still a parliament. We don't know whether it is now a kraal. We don't know whether it is a market. We don't know whether it's a barracks. So what is it exactly? Very clear effort must be done to restore the proper image of the House as a very important arm of government. We are also scared that what we have seen are also signs of what is coming ahead in 2026. And everything must be done. Everything must be done to ensure that the next election is not as violent, the next election is not as militant as we see in the People's House today. The scenes are on a very bad sign that the worst is coming ahead. The Ugandan military should stop forth with storming the People's House. And the military should not be used to resolve political contests. We are told that President Museveni would be different from Milton Obote. One of the problems of Uganda is that Milton Obote, having quarreled with the Kabaka Mutesa, instead of resolving those differences, he called in Idi Amin, the commander of the Uganda army then. So the Ugandan military intervened in a civil disagreement. And since then, the Ugandan military has never gotten out. Now, Mr. Museveni is following the clue of his father, Milton Obote. That is why anytime he disagrees with the messenger, it is the military which is the arbiter. When he disagrees with the Semogere, it is the military which is the arbiter. When he agrees with the Bobby Wine, a novice like Bobby Wine, he again brings in the military. So, it is time that the military stops. It is time that the military returns to the barracks. The military, as we have said in this Holy Alliance, proposed national transition, reform and reconciliation. One of the key issues in this proposal is that the Ugandan military must be divorced, must be removed from the politics, from the election, from the body politic, from civilian and the civil service roles. The military in parliament, the military in Ministry of Internal Affairs, the military in NADS, the military operation wealth creation, military in the civil service, military in elections. Even while we have the electoral commission, again the UPDF comes in and the security. So what kind of democracy and the freedom and rights do Ugandans have? Now, on return to the coffee, coffee is a national cash crop today. It is not only a Buganda crop. And with earnings projected even to be better than oil in the next 10 to 15 years, I can assure you that the projections on table now are indicating that coffee earnings in the next 10 to 15 years, even if we have oil in the next 5 years, coffee will bring in more money than oil. It is projected that within 25 years, when oil is finally expired, we will have earned about 50 billion. But coffee, within the next 25 years, we would have earned about 75 billion.